Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay. What did we witness just now here on the stage? Let's discuss about that a little bit. Okay, let's talk up a little bit about this. Can you have the kids keep quiet back there? The kids have to be very quiet. So we have gathered here for something very special tonight. It's very sweet and it's very rare. We are welcoming Shri Shri Gaura Nitai into a home here. Oh, Manpreet, look at this. Look at this. No, look, you're not done it. A home is not only a place to work, a place to eat and sleep. A home can become a place where the heart becomes lighter, where relationships become kinder, where life becomes more meaningful. So I want to first honor our hosts, Manpreet and Manny. And the kids, of course. There you go, thank you. Vikram, Ronit, Jashan, and Meher. And of course, I have it here, don't worry. I have it listed here. Don't rush me. And of course, Mom, Auntie Ji. Manpreet is the mother of these wonderful children. Auntie is a grandmother. And, you know, her and husband, they're wonderfully supportive. I know Manny is just so much supportive of this whole process. Every time I come and talk to him, I learn so much also about his background and how much spiritual values he was brought up under, and how much, just even today I learned how much your father was so strongly rooted in our spiritual culture. You know? This is a culture of Sat Nam. Nam means what? Name. Name of God. Sat means eternal. Sat means truth. Satya. But it also means eternal. And so it's the basic core philosophy of Dharma. It's very special that Mom is here and she's continuing to give you the blessings. It's really a very, very fortunate, all of you. When generations share a spiritual center like this, you have multiple generations, it strengthens the whole family and you feel a thread of connectivity going up all the way to grandma and beyond, and her parents and their parents, all the way. You feel it that we're connected to something very deep, very meaningful. We're not just here completely cut off from where we came from. No. A leaf cannot be cut off from its root. The leaf will dry up. We have to be connected to our roots. And our root is a Sat Nam. The root of all the souls in the universe is Sat Nam. The true name, the name of God. So tonight is not just a ceremony that we saw. It's a beginning. It's a new spiritual atmosphere in this home and a blessing for everyone who will visit it going forward. So you can see that is our deity who just, they're being dressed right now. See, that is Gaura Nitai. So let me give you a little bit of background of, some of you must be wondering, yes, ISKCON. We've heard of ISKCON. But what exactly is ISKCON? ISKCON stands for the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. It's written right over there. But the essence is very simple. It's a global spiritual movement. These are our different centers. These are just from India. We have 800 temples around the world. These are just a few of them. 800, you can imagine. Actually close to 1,000 now. It's focused on reviving our love for God that we've forgotten. And the love for God is revived through a very simple process called bhakti or devotion. And the devotion is rooted in the true name, the holy name of God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It is not meant to be a conversion from one community to another. We're not changing our communities. We're not changing our language. Hare Krishna. We'll continue to speak our mother tongue. Meher, what's your mother tongue? What's your mother tongue? What's your mother language? Do you know?
What language do you speak?
No, your mother tongue, not what language you speak.
Like
Punjabi.
बहुत स्वाद है
What's that?
बहुत स्वाद है
say Punjabi.
What's the name of the language?
पंजाबी
Yes. You don't stop speaking that. And if you're not speaking, you start speaking. Learn from grandma. This is not about changing our language. This Krishna consciousness is not about changing our roots. It's about being more of who we actually are. That's all. It's about not disconnecting from our roots. It's not a conversion from one community. It's meant to awaken the universal spiritual core in our hearts, which is really the root of our happiness. Yes, of course, we work hard, and we go for sports, and we go for academics, and we go for business, and we go for professional work. We make money, we build a nice house, we live comfortably. But the core of our happiness is not those things. They help frame our life, but the core of our happiness is here. That's very important. We can't afford to lose the core of our happiness in the pursuit of the frame. You understand? That's very important to keep in mind. So, what is this spiritual core that's existing in every human being? Have a seat anywhere. That's fine. It is remembrance of God. When you're in love with somebody, you remember them all the time. This is love. And you feel happy about remembering them. It is sacred sound, Satanam. It is prayer. Prayer means connecting, talking with God. It is humility. Humility means being gentle.
Which one, white?
Not being harsh. See? It is service, seva. Just tap the keys once, just once. Yeah, that's good. It times out and turns off. Yeah. It is seva, service, but selfless service. Do something for somebody else in a selfless, meaningful way. You see? So, this is why ISKCON has temples and communities all over the world. And you will see people in ISKCON from every background. Indian, Western, Sikh, Hindu, Christian, Muslim, African, Far East Asian. I just came back from Kenya last month, and there's so many local African people who are practicing Krishna consciousness, and they love it so much because it's nothing to do with being African or Indian or anything. It is something to do with the soul. And that's what I found very powerful and compelling when I discovered this philosophy. I was living back there in Africa. I was like, wow, this is amazing. So we come together in practice around chanting God's name. We did so much of that. We sang Hare Krishna mantra. And learning this book, Bhagavad Gita. And trying to live with purpose, with a sense of purity, with a sense of meaning. The heart of this movement is this book, Bhagavad Gita. Now a word about the person who brought this movement to the world in a very visible way. This is His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We call him Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now Srila Prabhupada was a monk And he was a teacher, but he was also a very practical visionary. So in 1965, at an age when most people retire, he was 70 years old. 70! He left India for the first time in his life to come to America. He didn't fly business class. He didn't fly coach. He didn't fly. He came by ship. And not like the cruise ships that you have. There's a cargo ship with like goods. He was sitting between boxes. You can imagine it's like a whole month to get here. Very difficult. Traveled alone with no companions to travel with. Practically no money, no support system. He didn't have a network in America. He didn't have a network back in India. That's not easy to do. But simply because he wanted to share the teachings of the Gita with the world. He wanted to share this true name, Harinam, the Satanam. And he wanted to give this. He didn't come to take anything from America, he came to give. He faced enormous hardships, you can imagine, because nothing going on in terms of support. But he had simple faith that if the message is pure, people will run and come for it. People will feel it in their hearts if it's purely given. So what did he do? He didn't just give lectures. He gave many lectures, but that's not all he did. He translated and wrote many books, especially this Bhagavad Gita, as it is. As it is. Don't accept any other imitations. You should only take Bhagavad Gita as it is. That's the version you want. And he wrote it and explained it in a way that everyday people like you and me can actually read it at home and apply it in our lives, like meaningfully. This is why this edition is the most widely read, the most widely distributed. It's available in like 70 or 80 languages. No other Gita has that many languages and hundreds of millions of copies distributed. So many. So tonight, when I speak about Krishna consciousness, please understand it in this way. It's a practical path of devotion to God centered on Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna consciousness is taught in a way that ordinary, regular householders, people like you and me, living in houses, not in temples, but living in houses, in the modern time frame of 2026, in a way that even busy people like us can live it, can absorb it in our hearts. Now let's come to the special focus of this evening. We're talking about Gaura Nitai. Gaura is the one on the right, and Nitai is the one in blue clothes on the left. Who are Gaura Nitai? Because people are asking, we're bathing Gaura Nitai. So we're bathing these two forms of God. I've never heard of Gaura Nitai. Like, what's that? I've heard of Krishna, heard of Ram, Sitaram, Radha Krishna, Hanumanji. Who is Gaura Nitai? Even I had not heard of them until I came to Krishna consciousness. So Gaura refers to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Nitai refers to Nityananda Prabhu. So in short, they call Gaura Nitai. Because he's Gaura. That's called Gaura. He's golden. That's why it's called, that's his name, it's Gaura. And Nityananda means he's eternally giving bliss. Nitya means eternally. Ananda means bliss. He's just giving bliss left and right, eternally. So in this bhakti tradition, they are honored as the most compassionate manifestation of the divine. The most compassionate incarnation of God. Because their mission is to give spiritual love in the easiest way. Now who are they? The secret I'll reveal to you right now. Gaura is actually Krishna combined with Radha in one form. Krishna is actually very dark skinned. He's black, blackish, bluish. But Gaura is Krishna, but he took the color of Radha. Radha's color is molten gold. Tapta kanchana gaurangi. Tapta kanchana means molten gold. She glows. That's different. That's opposite of Krishna's color. But when Krishna comes together with Radha and becomes one form, Krishna cannot handle all the love that Radha has for him. And so he just bursts forth and gives the love to the whole world without thinking who deserves it, who doesn't deserve it. That is Gauranga. Gaura Anga means limbs. And Gaura means golden. So he has golden limbs. That's why it's called Gauranga. Or in short, Gaura. And Nityananda is the incarnation of Lord Balaram. Balaram is Krishna's brother, older brother. Nityananda is Lord Chaitanya's older brother. Balaram wears blue dhoti, Nityananda wears blue dhoti. Krishna wears yellow dhoti, and Gaura wears yellow dhoti, golden dhoti. This is how you can tell them. Okay? So always on the right hand side is Gaura, and on the left hand side is Nitai. Now they came to give spiritual love in the easiest way possible. Now what does easiest mean? Easiest doesn't mean shallow. It means accessible, available. Anybody can do it. It means they don't ask you to be perfect before you begin. Nobody's perfect. They don't say first become a saint, then you can approach God. No. They say come as you are. Come from whatever level you are at. Take one step, chant Hare Krishna. Hear the name of God. Hear the message of God. Reflect. Think about it. Try to recognize the thirst in your heart, the yearning for meaning, and the bliss that you're seeking. So these names are specifically, this mantra is specifically given for this age of Kali. This mantra is there in Kali Santaran Upanishad, and it goes like this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In the Sikh tradition, Naam is central, Satnam. In Bhakti, the holy name is central. In Christianity, also, our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Why name? Name is important. The principle is universal, that the sacred sound, the name of God, it purifies our heart. Important point for those who are curious, that in our tradition we understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu are predicted in many scriptures, at least 25 or 30 different scriptures, different shastras, including Srimad Bhagavatam, including Vishnu Sahasranam, which is Mahabharata, clearly predicted. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come, Agni Puran, Vishnu Puran, many Puranas, Upanishads also. There's a whole Upanishad called Chaitanya Upanishad that describes Lord Chaitanya. Now these are written 5,000 years ago, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years ago. But they were predicted. Because in age of Kali, that is the incarnation of the Lord. So we don't need to doubt. Thank you. We don't need to doubt who is God, or whether they are incarnation. Anybody who claims to be God, you can't just accept. You say, is there a prediction in the scriptures? If your prediction is not in scriptures, I don't accept you as God. Simple. It's very easy. Someone claims to be God. What is the criteria that we use to decide if they're genuine? If they are predicted in the scriptures. If they're not listed in this, because God comes on schedule. He comes on the calendar. Calendar is printed. It's in the Shastra. In this age of Kali Yuga, there's only one incarnation that's going to come. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then at the end, very end, when Kali Yuga is ending and transitioning to the next Satya Yuga, one more incarnation is coming. That is Kalki. Kalki Avatar. You heard of Kalki Avatar? In Dasha Avatar, there's 10 avatars listed. The last one is called Kalki Avatar. Kalki Avatar is going to come, do you know how many years from now, roughly? 427,000 years from now. Long time ago. Okay. Long time, so you don't need to worry about that. But because their incarnation is predicted, we accept them. And when you follow their pathway, you feel it in your heart. It's transformative. It is incredibly uplifting. And it's not that hard to do. You just chant what we did, that's it. You chant Hare Krishna. You have nice festivals like this. You're singing. You offer nice little items, all these fruits and foods and different things we cook and we eat together. And we reflect, like what we're doing right now, we reflect on the scriptures and the Shastra. You see? It's not hard. So what does it mean, what we're doing today? What does it mean to welcome Gaura Nitai into our home? This form of God is not an idol. It's not a fake murti. This is literally the form of God. Now how do I say it's not fake? Because in the Shastra itself, it shows how you can worship God. The dimensions are given. The proportions are given. If the murti is made according to scriptures, according to Shastra, then that murti is supposed to be accepted as God. Not a representation of God, but actually God himself. Not a representation. You can actually talk to God. That's why you offer food. And when God looks at it, then we get the prasad. So, what does it mean to welcome Gaura Nitai into our home here? It's like saying, let mercy enter into our daily life. Because now you all kids will be able to see the mercy of God every day. Those who live in this house are very fortunate because now you'll see, take darshan. This house will become a temple. Not only a temple, and not only during a festival, but in living here. You'll see in your living room. You'll be able to practice in the kitchen. You'll be able to practice the presence of God in the ordinary moments of your life. See? Now I want to gently clear away some stereotypes that people have about what is this bhakti, what is this spirituality. Sometimes people think that spirituality means becoming passive, becoming weak, becoming impractical. We have nice examples here. Gopikan, Krishna Prabhu. He's raising a wonderful family. What he's doing, is that impractical? No. He's living a perfect professional life in the technology sphere. It's not impractical. And yet, Prabhu, you're very kindly giving Krishna so selflessly to so many devotees and practicing and enjoying it. It's completely practical. It's doable. The children are growing up with great bliss and joy and meaning. Completely practical. He's not falling behind on his mortgage payments. Very practical. Work hard. Krishna takes care of everything. It's all very practical. Spirituality is not about becoming weak or passive or impractical. Actually, real spirituality makes you more steady. It makes you more focused. It makes you more courageous to face the ups and downs of the world, because all of us will have ups and downs. If you've not already had them, you will have them. It's inevitable. It doesn't remove you from the world. It removes the confusion from your mind. It gives you clarity to see through the storm when storms come, because you're rooted in reality. You see? Sometimes people think spirituality is only for those who are elderly, the old people. When I get old, I'll do bhakti. Or only for those who have a lot of free time. I don't have free time. I've got time for these things. Who has time for this thing? Are you kidding me? Yeah, once in a while, yeah, okay. Who has time for doing this daily? It's not. That's another stereotype. If spirituality is real, it must be relevant for the busiest people. The busiest person in this room is relevant to that person, if it's real. Otherwise, it's only a decoration. We don't want to do spirituality just like a decoration. Decorations are optional. Core is not optional. Spirituality is not optional. People think spirituality is just rules and rituals. You got a fire here, you do these round circles, you offer some flowers. No. It's not just empty rituals. Rituals can be helpful to express our love. This is a way to show love. You know, if the husband cooks a nice meal for the wife and decorates it nicely with flowers and just some, very, very presentable on a tray. It's not an empty ritual, it's a gesture of love, isn't it? So what we're doing when you offer flowers and different things, this is not empty ritual that your mind is somewhere else. No, it's a gesture of love. That love is reciprocated. It's reciprocated by God. But spirituality is not about just rituals. Spirituality is about transformation. It's about an inner change. It's about becoming a better human being, where selflessness is natural. It's like your muscle memory, your default setting that happens when you're deeply spiritual. It's about being more grounded in reality, more loving to everybody else, more self-controlled, more disciplined. This is spirituality. These are the values that you need to survive every day and to prosper and to thrive in the world. You cannot get them all in one place unless it's all rooted in spirituality. You need that. More loving, more self-control, more focused, more selfless, more steady mentally. Sometimes people worry, if I get closer to Krishna consciousness, does that mean I have to reject my background? Not at all. Like I said earlier, bhakti is not about erasing identity. Speak Punjabi, speak English. If your mother tongue is Swahili, speak Swahili. It's not about erasing your identity. I speak Swahili because I grew up in Kenya. But it's not my mother tongue. But bhakti is not about erasing your identity. Bhakti is about deepening your essence. You understand what I'm trying to say? Deepening who you are. Remembrance of God. A default sense of gratitude. You know, when you're thankful, how strong you become? When you're feeling weak, try to be thankful for what God has given you. You'll immediately feel strength. Gratitude is very empowering. God doesn't like ungrateful people. Nobody likes ungrateful. If you help somebody and they're ungrateful to you, you won't like them anymore. But if they show genuine gratitude and affection, like, oh no, you helped me, I'll never forget that, you will want to help that person again and again. Because you know that person genuinely appreciates what you did. So if you show gratitude to God for what God has all given you, imagine how much more God will reciprocate. He's also a person. Nobody likes ungrateful people. Bhakti makes gratitude natural. It makes it like breathing. Because you appreciate, you actually see the hand of God in your life on a daily basis. And not just what's happening today. You look back on your life and you see how the hand of God has been in your life even in the past. And you'll cry tears of joy. That is bhakti. Now, I want to shift the mood a little bit because the heart of tonight's message is not just information. My point here is not to download some information into your brains. It's an invitation. I want to invite you. Most of us live lives on the surface at best. Because life is fast. It's very fast. You wake up, you have messages. The first thing you look at is the phone. You have deadlines, you have responsibilities, too much. You got traffic, you got family needs, you have money goals, you have health concerns, whether to take this opportunity or that opportunity, whether we're going to move to this state or that state, what should I do? And then we sleep. And then we repeat. Same cycle. But there are moments, maybe late at night, when the noise quiets down, and the heart asks questions we cannot ignore. Why am I here? Why do I suffer even when things are looking fine? Why do relationships, even good ones, sometimes leave a feeling of emptiness? Why does my success not fully satisfy my heart? What is the purpose of life beyond survival and these achievements? What happens after death? I know I'm going to die. What happens? Is there a soul, or are we just chemicals? If God is real, how do I connect in a practical way with God? These are not religious questions, remember. These are human questions. And we don't avoid these questions because we're bad people. No. We avoid them because if we face them honestly, we might have to change something. And change is uncomfortable. But not changing also has a cost. Anxiety, restlessness, loneliness, and the feeling that life is passing too quickly without any depth. Life moves very fast. And if you don't get a sense of meaning, the hollowness will hit you. So the goal of a spiritual evening like this is simple. To pause. Take a break. Take a breath. To remember that you are not a machine. Don't treat yourself like a machine. Don't let other people treat you like a machine. You are a conscious being with feelings. You're a conscious being with needs, with emotions, with a thirst for something more. Now here's the beautiful thing. Krishna consciousness doesn't ask you to solve everything in one day. It asks you just to begin. It asks you to start by listening, reflecting what we're talking about, and taking a small step. That's what we did today. We're taking a small step. And that small step is often Bhagavad Gita. This little book has so many answers. You just have to know how to find it. So you read it. Read it. If you don't have one, take a copy. You see all these copies? They're for you. Take one if you don't have, definitely this is an invitation to take them. Don't miss out on the opportunity. Coming to the heart of it, why is Bhagavad Gita so central? Okay, there's two people on the chariot. One is sitting in the front who's driving the chariot, and one sitting in the back. Who is the one sitting in front driving the chariot? Everyone know? Krishna. Yes, exactly. That's Krishna. And who's the fellow in the back? Arjuna, you're close because he's his cousin. Brother, cousin, same thing. He's his brother in one sense, you can say. You're right. That's his cousin. We don't even say cousin, we say brother only, so you're right. That is his kind of brother. Arjuna. But he's also a student now. Because Arjuna is asking questions. And Krishna is answering. Now what makes Bhagavad Gita important? Because Krishna, who is God, he's speaking directly. If you read the Bhagavad Gita, it'll say, if Arjuna asks something, he says, Arjuna Uvacha. If Dhritarashtra is saying something, he says, Dhritarashtra Uvacha. If Sanjay is saying something, it says, Sanjay Uvacha. If Krishna is saying, what does it say? No. Have you read Bhagavad Gita? What does it say? Shri? No. Shri? Bhagavan Uvacha. You remember the verses? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. It doesn't say Krishna Uvacha. Interesting. That means Krishna is Bhagavan. You understand? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Because Krishna is speaking directly, Bhagavad Gita is taken seriously by the whole world. And Vyasadeva, who writes it directly, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Bhagavan hai. Now, the setting is not a forest retreat. The setting is not a nice gazebo with sofas. No, it's a battlefield. Those are warriors. Look at this. Those are warriors getting ready to fight. It's in the middle of a battlefield. And Bhagavad Gita begins in the battlefield because the Gita is not meant only for monks who have so much time. Arjuna didn't have much time. He had to start fighting right away.
Run it.
It is meant for everyone, especially householders. Arjuna was a householder. He was married. He had children. He's in the middle of his work. This is his job. This is meant for people who have householder duties, people who have responsibilities. Arjuna is not lazy. Neither are we. Arjuna is not ignorant. He's educated. Neither are we. We've all got educations. He's not weak. Neither are we. All of you are very strong people. He is respected. He's responsible. He's trained. But in this moment, he collapses internally. He doesn't know what to do. His mind is spinning. He asks, what is right? What is wrong? What is the point of all this? Why should I act? Why should I do my work? What will my actions cost? Arjuna's job was what? What is he?
Warrior.
Warrior, Kshatriya, warrior. Kshatriya means he has to fight for what is right. You know, like, imagine you're a sniper. You know snipers? What's a sniper? You know what snipers are?
Archers.
Have you heard of snipers?
Yes.
They kill.
Yeah, but what is the specialty?
Assassination.
Yeah, focused gun. They can kill someone from 2 miles away with their gun. So much precision. Now suppose, like they fight terrorists and stuff, or say someone is holding someone hostage. Like this guy's murdered 50 people and he's holding this lady hostage. He's holding a knife to her throat. And the sniper, he has the guy in the crosshairs. He can take him out like this. That's his job. And when he takes him out, he gets a medal. That's his job. Arjuna is similar like that. He has to kill the bad people. That's his job. Like, you can imagine Arjuna is like, okay, I'm going to kill. Oh, shoot. That guy's my cousin. I can't kill my cousin. That's Arjuna's situation. What do you mean? Krishna, what do you mean you can't kill your cousin? They're the wrongdoers. It's your duty to kill your cousin. In fact, you shouldn't bother whether cousin or not. Your job is to be a sniper. You have to uphold dharma. That was his dilemma. It's not easy for him to process that. But that's his job. Krishna is telling him to do his job, do his duty. But this leads to a lot of good questions. What's the meaning of life? Do we have to do this? Is there God? Is there a connection? All these questions start coming out. That's what the Gita is. So intriguing. Krishna is talking here. This battlefield, if you think about it, is a symbol of our daily lives. Most of us are not struggling with swords and guns. Most of us don't deal with that. We're struggling with decisions. We're struggling with pressures. We're struggling with expectations. We're struggling with inner conflicts. Do it this way, that way. Is this right? Is this wrong? We all go through it. We may talk about it, we may not talk about it, but we're all going through this stuff. So the Gita is timeless. Timeless means applies even in 2026, at all times. Because it meets a person exactly where modern people live. In the middle of our duty. Not in the middle of escaping our duty. You understand? Arjuna tried to escape. Krishna said, no, come back. Do your duty. But do it with proper understanding. And I'll teach you what that's about. Don't escape. You can't escape. Arjuna said, Hatvartha kamams guru mihaiva punjiya bhogan rudya pradigdhan. That I'd rather be a beggar. Let me become a beggar. Let me run away from this. I'll be a beggar. It's okay. I don't want the kingdom. We're fighting for the kingdom. Duryodhana, you keep your kingdom. It's okay. I'll be kind to you. I won't kill you guys. I'll go and be a beggar. Krishna does something brilliant. He doesn't just motivate Arjuna with positive thinking or a pep talk or some motivational speech. He answers the deepest questions. He's not just a coach. Yeah, you can do it. No. It's much more than that. He asks the deepest questions. Who are you? What is this whole world? What's the purpose of this world? Why is there suffering? What is the soul? What is God? What is karma? What is the purpose of our actions? What is the path to my inner freedom? He answers all these questions. That's why the Bhagavad Gita has been read by thinkers and leaders and seekers and philosophers and householders and monks for thousands of years. Thousands. And it's still in fashion. It answers the questions. It's not a sectarian book like only meant for Hindus or a certain sect of people. It's a manual for consciousness. At this point, Krishna gives one of the most quoted verses in the world. And it's popular because it addresses a very modern problem. Anxiety. Who of us have not gone through anxiety? Even little kids have gone through anxiety. So much so, we think anxiety is like the normal thing we should be carrying around with us. In fact, if you're not worried, we start worrying. Why am I not worried? You know? He says, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalahetupur mate sangosta karmani. The translation is that you have the right to your prescribed duty. You have the right to do your duty. But you're not entitled to the fruits of your action. Now, Krishna is not saying don't care about results. He says you should not be attached to results. He says do your part with excellence. Do your job with excellence, with integrity. But don't let the results control your mind and confuse you. Ma phaleshu kadachana. A lot of our stress comes from wanting to control the outcomes that we cannot fully control. We expect a certain outcome and we think I'm controlling it, has to be this way. And if it doesn't come out that way, we really get stressed out. It happens to everybody. What will people think? That stresses me out. What if I fail? That stresses me out. What if I lose money? What if the future goes wrong completely? So Gita teaches this powerful balance. Work with full responsibility and simultaneously surrender the results to God. God, this is your project. It fails, this on you. That takes away the anxiety. And you offer the results in a tangible way to God. See? This one verse can change someone's life. This is one reason I love that the Gita was taught on a battlefield. It speaks to people with real responsibility. Now another question naturally arises. If God exists, why is there so much chaos? There shouldn't be chaos because God is so powerful. Why does goodness struggle? Why do good people struggle? And the bad people seem to be getting away with everything. It's true. Why does the world feel morally confusing if God is really there? In the Gita, Krishna answers with another famous verse. He says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bhavarata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadadmanam sujamyaham. He says, whenever and wherever there's a decline in religious understanding, religious practice, and there's a rise in irreligion, at that time I keep coming myself. I descend, I take avatar. This verse is not just about history, that Krishna came so many times. It's about hope. Krishna is basically saying, I'm not indifferent to your pain. I'm not indifferent to your struggles. I am there with you. And when humanity becomes lost, I appear again and again in different ways to reawaken dharma, to reawaken goodness, to restore the path, to lift the people. And in this bhakti understanding, our Gaura Nitai, who reads us welcomed, they are a powerful expression of mercy. This is Krishna's response that he gave in Bhagavad Gita. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani. I come again and again. He came again. And now he has come into this household, in Manpreet Mataji's house. They're right here. We welcome them, and we're going to welcome them with their first arti, their first offering today. And we're going to welcome the Bhagavatam also, this Bhagavatam set, into this home. So in this age of stress and distraction and confusion, these Gaura Nitai deities, they make the spiritual path simple, they make it joyful, and they make it widely available through the holy name. Spirituality doesn't mean withdrawing from life. The Gita teaches something more mature. How to act without becoming bitter. How to work without becoming anxious. Can you imagine someone taught you how to work without becoming anxious? How to love without becoming possessive. Is that even possible? Yes. How to succeed without becoming proud. And how to fail without collapsing completely. You see, this is all there in the Bhagavad Gita. When you're in Krishna consciousness, it's about one central transformation. It moves from I am the center to God is the center. And God comes, you'll see. What can I do? Small things. Chant Hare Krishna. Offer your food to Krishna. This mantra is purifying for the mind, like a gentle stream of purity flowing. Once the water becomes clearer, our mind becomes clear. It's like our mind is like a lake and the water becomes clear. So tonight, Gaura Nitai are being welcomed here not to judge us, but to bless us. Not to demand perfection, but to invite connection. And the Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's invitation in the book form. So I want to encourage all of you, before you leave, please take a copy of the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Completely up to you. Even if you only read a little bit every day, a few minutes, it'll plant something powerful in your mind. One day perhaps you'll look back and realize there's the one evening in New Jersey, Springfield, I pick up this book, and slowly, that book began to pick me up. That's what happened to me. So please take this. Thank you all for coming this evening, participating. May Gaura Nitai bring peace and joy to this beautiful home, to this house, and into all of your hearts. And may you get spiritual strength to face your whole life. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Okay, anyone have any questions or comments? Kids. Manpreet, do you have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
So, what made you follow the path of Krishna consciousness?
Yes.
How did you start?
How did I start? Yes. What I explained today was kind of my thought process, how I came. Basically, I was looking for answers about these core questions. When I was about 14 years old, I was convinced there's no God. I actually come to the conclusion that God cannot be there. It doesn't make sense at all that there's a God, God can exist. Why? Because bad things keep happening to good people, and good things keep happening to bad people, and bad people keep getting away with stuff. So clearly, if there's a God, God is not good. Most likely there's no God. Or, if God is there, God is not all powerful. He just created the world and now the world is run away and he's lost control. There's nothing he can do about it. Because you see people like this, getting away with stuff. And the good people are getting crushed. Then, someone gave me a book. Because I also believe that life came through the evolutionary process. We became humans. First we were monkeys, there were no humans, and then prior to that we were plants, and so on and so forth. So I was very convinced that even life was not created by God. It just happened by chance. But I came across a very nice book by Srila Prabhupada. It's called Life Comes from Life. And it challenged my scientific mind. Is there any instance where life doesn't come from life? It never happens. Life only comes from life. It's just not possible. No amount of technology has created life. from chemicals, from physical objects. Just not possible. Life can only come from another life source. If you take it to logical conclusion, you start seeing things. Then I started reading about how we are the soul. At the time of death, the soul also doesn't die. The soul moves to another body. So then, if that's the case, and we're eternal, you get a sense that yes, I'm never going to die. In one sense, we have that feeling. We're never going to stop existing. Maybe we'll get different form. But if that's the case, then what is the meaning of all this? If this one life isn't everything. So I started reflecting more and more. And I did more research, and I realized there's a lot more to life than just it. Eat, sleep, earn money, work hard, and entertainment cycle. It has to be more than that. Because the heart is yearning for it. What makes people happy? So I started asking all these questions. Why do I suffer? But I was asking, thankfully, the right place, Bhagavad Gita. And I was very fortunate I had many good teachers who explained to me these things. He said the answers are right there. They kept saying me the answers. Okay, show me. And they showed. And perfect. Like in plain, clear English. And even the basic Sanskrit that's in these verses, the Sanskrit is very clear. And even first-year Sanskrit student can translate the whole Gita. It's very simple Sanskrit. So it's not complicated original language. But the theory is not everything. You have to taste the process. So I started tasting it. He said, okay, you have to chant Hare Krishna. You can't just read about what to do. You have to actually take the medicine. I can describe to you for 2 hours the ingredients and the chemical composition of the honey. And I can explain how different cultures love the honey. It smells so good. It tastes so nice. But until you actually taste it, all those words are just words. So until you taste the connection with God through the Satnam, through the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So meditating on this name. And you feel, whoa, why do I feel categorically different? There's a happiness that I've never felt before. So this is a method. You apply this method. We give up things that block that flow. The things that block our flow. Like intoxicants. If we take drugs, for example, right? They block our consciousness from receiving some of this flow. If I'm being cruel to other people, that cruelty will block my flow. I have to stop being cruel to other people. I can't be murdering people. Or I can't be harsh to them or unfair. Or be criminally inclined toward people. I should be kind to people. If we're kind to people, that unblocks and we feel the spirituality flowing, spirituality of God. So those things we have to stop doing.